T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast, the podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus and Brady Liming.
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
Hey.
What kind of dance was that? I don't know. Look.
It's a dance where the primary movement is from the waist up since I'm sitting. So it's somewhere between busting a move and used car inflatable. So it's kind of like in between that. Anyway.
Hello, Maxwell. Hello, Savannah.
Maxwell.
Welcome.
Savannah.
Very good. All right, welcome to episode 109. Did you say 9?
5 and 4 at 9. Was that Bugs Bunny or Popeye?
Popeye, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Episode 109 of the Play It By Ear podcast. I'm Eric Fiskus, my cohort, my compatriot in crime, in comedy. Brady
More in crime than comedy, I'm afraid.
Yeah, probably.
No,
so.
we're kidding. We don't want the federales busting down our door.
Well, we think we're funny as hell. So
yeah, because we say so.
Exactly. All right. So
3 people can't be wrong.
Yeah, all right. There you go. Actually, 16,000 plays of this show. Over 16,000 in the history of this show. That's a lot of plays.
That is a lot of plays for a small outfit. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, I mean, not to toot our own horn, but yeah.
Oh.
Visit our website, www.playitbyearpodcast.com. And if you have not been here before, each of us come to the table with a topic. We talk about said topic for 20-ish minutes, pretty much exhaust said topic, and move on.
Equine is flogged.
Yeah, we lay waste to the topic and we move on, just like the alien ships in Independence Day.
Or my cousin Vinny. I have no more use for you.
Nice. All right, so we are in the order on the screen in which we will go. I will start us out. Brady will round us up. Yeah, haven't you ever done your Brady bunch before? I did it wrong too.
You know, after nearly 3 years of this, in driving a boat, backing up a boat, you would think I'd have it, but I still am, you know, like I said, I'm still tempted when it's just us two to do the electric company, like
in
thin.
I did it wrong too. Thin. Oh, like I said, we crack ourselves up.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, I will go first. Brady will go second. And my topic, we're going to go through a list of inventions. And these are from my first list is from the 2000s. So the 2000 to 2009 decade. The second list is from the 2010s. So we're talking the last, 22 years ish. But some of these things, I was looking through the list, and they may surprise you because they become so intertwined with what we do. I mean, they're relatively recent inventions. I mean, we're 50 years old, so I mean, you're 51. I'm 50, but
Hey,
that
mere
makes it,
days, sir.
yeah.
Mere days.
Well, 5150 makes us crazy, right? Insane.
We're a
Anyway,
great Van Halen album.
yes, we are. But some of these things, the earliest things I'm going to talk about here, were invented when we were 30. So again, I mean, fairly recent, 29 or 30, I guess. All right. So our first list, the 20 best gadgets of the decade of the 2000 to 2009 time period. 2009.
9.
All right. 9.
9.
9.
Fräulein is not good. Sven.
All right. So these are tech gadgets. So some of these have been supplanted by other things. Others are still around and again intertwined in the things that we do. All right. So number 20, the Jabra Bluetooth earpiece. Okay. So I'm going to read the description of this. And I think it does a very good description of this particular thing. 4 months after Jabber's Bluetooth headset hit the market, we were all freaked out by the people wandering around in public talking to themselves. While this advancement has certainly led to an increase in douchey behavior, it's also probably saved countless lives, freeing hands for all important thing called steering. Did you ever have one?
I did not. I remember when they first came out, and they were a little bit bigger, a little bit more protracted, and I thought I was just pulling up beside a schizophrenic person in the middle of a meltdown, and the guy in the car was like, and then I saw that he had this protrusion from his ear. It's like, it's one of those gadgets. So I did not have one of those. The closest I came is my wireless earbuds that I have. I think they do have a microphone on them.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've not used them. So, nifty gadget though.
Yeah. Right, well,
so does this on the list? Does this parlay into Bluetooth? Because Bluetooth is flipping awesome.
Yeah, we'll get to Bluetooth here.
Okay. Okay.
But so obviously we're talking about Bluetooth earpieces here, but I will say it was rather annoying, and it doesn't seem to happen so much anymore, and I'm not sure why. Because, like you said, you got those earbuds that you can talk on phone calls, but it seems like people don't do it as much anymore. But back then, like the description says, I mean, you would find people talking to what you thought was you, like
out loud too.
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
Here's the interesting twist on this: the etiquette had not been invented yet.
Right.
So they came, and then people were just like, then I told him he better step off. And, they're having that, to no one in particular.
Right.
So, and then like, we're at a crowded restaurant. Now it still happens a little bit, but, there is now etiquette in place 20 years removed.
Correct.
So.
All right. So, like I said, that was 2000. So this one from 2003. And this is another one I never really had this particular thing. I did have something similar. The Griffin iTrip. So soon after the iPod, there was the iTrip, wirelessly transmitting those early playlists to the car stereo via radio waves with an Apple-worthy sleek design. So you turned your radio to a certain frequency, and this thing shot the songs into your radio.
That's one step higher than the thing, the cassette that would plug in the cassette deck.
I had one of those.
And enable your CD player.
Yeah.
So that's the Stone Age one.
So this iTrip thing would plug into the bottom of your iPhone. So it plugged into the charging port. So yeah, I never had that, but because I never had an iPhone. But
yeah, I don't have Apple products. I've got a little bit of an attitude about it. No offense to our Apple people, but the iTrip, because I'm paying attention to that and not looking where I'm walking, kind of deal.
So actually, that was, like the description says, that was to plug into your iPod back in the day, not your
Yeah.
iPhone, because the iPhone in 2003 had not been invented yet. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right, number 18. Now, you know my consternation for these particular items in the world. They have been discussed many times on this show. From the very beginning of this show, as a matter of fact, I believe in episode 1, if I were world czar, my first topic ever, I said I would vanquish these devices. However, in the realm of these devices, this is the best. The Accelerator Hand Dryer, 2003. And we're talking about the ones that sound like a jet taking off when you put your hands underneath.
Every school. Now, I'm farther away from the restroom at my new job than I was last year.
Yeah.
But at the place I've been employed the previous few years, it sounds like an F-16 taking off and landing. And pity the poor teacher across the hallway during testing. We actually disable them because it's hard to test when somebody's landing an A-10 Warthog across the street or across the hallway from you. So yeah, hand dryers, they don't work as well as we would like them to. And then when you have those super powered ones,
So in my former job, these Accelerator hand dryers replaced the old ones where you basically, if you just went, you would dry your hands better than putting your hand under that thing. But the unintended consequence was it scared the crap out of kindergartners. They would stick their hands under there and they would just go crazy. It was awful.
So what is more traumatic, that going off or the auto flusher?
Well,
this sounds like it's taking you into the 7th level of hell.
Right. Between the auto flush and that, I mean, we had traumatized kindergartners all over the place. But all right. So the description here: as mankind ventures further into the technological wonders of Tomorrowland, let us not forget that it's the small things that matter most. Humans continue to streamline lavatory visits with as little hand contact as possible. Seems like it all started with the automatic paper towel dispenser, which is awesome, by the way. As awful as hand dryers are, the automatic paper towel dispenser is outstanding and probably one of the best inventions ever.
Oh, yeah.
The only problem I have with that one is you have to program the thing so an appropriate amount of towel comes out.
Yeah, when they give you a postage stamp square and you have any combination of mucus, feces, or anything near your hands, and you have to try to dry your soiled hands with a postage stamp, it's kind of an epic fail.
I mean, you just got to take your hand under about 17 times to get the appropriate amount of paper to dry off.
Like Jam Master Jay, you're like on the thing's flying out.
So speaking of that, now I'm going lupine diversion here. So you have all these hand-free items: the hand dryer, the towel dispenser, and the faucet, and the toilet. Now, why is it the ones that involve water are the most what's the word I'm looking for?
Stingy with the product?
No. You can't count on them.
Oh, faulty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, have you ever found yourself in the position where your hands are covered and you really need it to work, and then you're running your hands back and forth and nothing comes out?
That is infuriating. That is more infuriating than the hand dryer, as a matter of fact.
But your first face isn't fury. It's horror. It's like, because there's no water going to come out of there.
Well, because you're sitting there going.
That's what the dance was at the beginning.
Yeah, trying to get the water to come out. Okay, so I'm not going to read this whole. It's kind of a rather lengthy description. However, the bottom line is the last sentence here. But just when we thought a trip to the restroom couldn't get any easier, along came the Accelerator, a super powerful hand dryer that actually gets your hands dry rather than making you wait 15 seconds before you give up and wipe them on your pants.
But it does not mention that each time a little bit of your hearing goes.
True. And matter of fact, even with the Accelerator, I still wipe my hands on my pants. So.
Yeah.
All right. Number 17, which is a considerable invention here. And thinking back, it was life changing. The USB flash drive.
Oh,
Now you remember having to save things onto discs, CDs, and before that the unfloppy floppy disk, and before that the floppy disk. But the USB flash drive, I mean, that was a heck of an invention.
where you would put in the floppy disk. This is awesome. It's going to save my whole 3-page document in 10 minutes. It's going to be great.
Exactly. Because you only had 500 megabytes of space on your hard drive on your computer. So
Yeah. I mean,
which is about a tenth of what you have on your cell phone right now.
Well, and here's the absolute mind-blowing part. Keep in mind, I read this once that a thumb drive, like a USB flash drive, there's more computing power and capability in it than the entire Apollo missions, like the spacecraft that operated them.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
All right, number 16. I don't have a year on this, but somewhere in that decade. Now, it says Bose. I guess we can just be general in this. Bose Quiet Comfort Noise Canceling Headphones.
Ooh.
I don't know if I've ever had or owned a noise canceling headphone.
I have, and they're wonderful, but unwieldy. Kind of like dude, don't you have some on your head right now?
No, these are not noise canceling.
Well, it's noise impeding. You're not canceled. You're just impeded.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, it does something, and I can't tell you exactly what, but it does something in the headphone when you have a noise canceller to drown out that outside noise. I don't know what it does, but
I put them on my head before. I had an inexpensive. I didn't have like the Bose or Beats or anything like that, but I did have a pair of less expensive noise canceling. It's pretty amazing. So, like those, they're cool.
All right. Number 11. So I'm going to skip a little bit through this list because we have another list to go through. The Sony PlayStation 3 with Blu-ray disc. Okay, though Warner's announcement that it would no longer release movies in HD DVD effectively ended the decade's biggest format war, Blu-ray's victory also owes some credit to Sony's latest gen gaming device, which along with the Xbox 360 ushered in an era of mind-blowing graphics. And with the price of 1080p HD TVs coming down, watching movies at home will never be the same.
Pretty amazing.
Did not have a Blu-ray PlayStation 3. I'd kind of moved out of my video game phase by 2006. I did have an Xbox 360, but
yeah,
honestly, I didn't use it much. But kids and marriage, I guess, will do that to you. But anywho, all right, something happened to this page. I've lost half the page.
So while you're pulling it up, I hope I'm not jumping in the list, but oh shoot, with the Xbox and DVD and the Blu-ray thing, one thing that I'm gonna miss with streaming, it is flipping through, and actually it's kind of the same way with CDs versus digital, is holding the box and the liner notes and all the case candy that would come with the movie, or so,
Right.
so I kind of miss that a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. Number 10, a medium we are on as we speak. YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
2005. Having previously met at PayPal, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim labored collectively to create what's at the moment the world's largest video sharing website, YouTube. And this, again, launched in 2005. First YouTube video to be uploaded online was of Kareem at the San Diego Zoo. So I wonder if that video is still on there. I guess
that would have to go in the Smithsonian. That would have to go in a time capsule.
It would.
Like the first telegraph message and the first telephone message.
Right. And just like anything else, YouTube blew up when Google bought it. I can't
Yeah.
remember how long ago that was, but became part of the Google suite.
Yeah.
All right, Blu-ray disc, and we mentioned the PlayStation earlier. I'd never had a Blu-ray disc player, and again, I guess I'm not much of a movie watcher, so I never felt the need to have one. Um, I'm assuming you probably had one. You like movies.
Yeah, I think my machine wasn't a specific Blu-ray. It would play Blu-ray and DVD.
Yeah.
Because that was a pretty seamless transition, honestly. DVD was dying so fast that Blu-ray players really didn't have that. Like when the first VCRs came out, they were like over $1,000,
Right.
but like the Blu-ray player never did have that initial, first sticker shock, first iteration. So it kind of seamlessly went in. The ones I had just kind of blended together. So
Yeah, the VCR was $1,000 and as big as your desk.
oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. So the Blu-ray disc, by the way, 2002.
Ooh.
That's when the Blu-ray disc. All right, number 8. We both have one of these. 2008. Android smartphones.
I still have one.
Yeah, as do I. I've always had one. Never had an iPhone. 2003, Andy Rubin and 3 others launched Android Incorporated, which created the Android working system, which might revolutionize the tech trade ceaselessly. This is one of the inventions after 2000. Again, 2008. In 2005, Google purchased Android for an undisclosed quantity.
I don't think I knew that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the Android phones have the Google. They unveiled the Open Handset Alliance, a bunch of cellular producers that may work collectively to create merchandise to assist Android operating system. So that's why you can get a Samsung phone, a Kyocera,
Motorola.
Motorola, yeah.
Bob's cell phone.
Right. So basically any phone other than an iPhone runs probably on that Android operating system. And that is because of that Open Handset Alliance. That was set up by Google's. And really was ingenious. I mean,
It was.
That was a good move by Google. All right. Number 7, the one you mentioned earlier, 2000, Bluetooth.
Bluetooth. I can think of few things, and I'm not even being funny, but it kind of is. Bluetooth has revolutionized my house. I could run my guitar effects processor. It runs through Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I could say, Alexa, play me this, and it runs through Bluetooth. My bathroom is being remodeled right now, and my ventilation fan that has an LED light on it also has a Bluetooth speaker.
Now that's
so I could bust a move in my shower if I need to.
That's outstanding.
So, and it's such a cool technology. I mean, everything from your smartwatches to, well, heck, I've lost track of the amount of things that are there's Bluetooth all over my house. and seriously, I've lost, my LED light in my bedroom. Turn lights to purple, turn lights to white, and it does it. Amazing.
So my only, and I'm like you, I love Bluetooth. A lot of Bluetooth things going on in the house. My only problem with Bluetooth is when I have the wireless headphones and they're connected to something I don't know what it's connected to. I turn the headphones on, your device is connected. And I turn the device I think it's connected to and nothing happens. So what device is
got one better. My kid's room has a Bluetooth speaker in it. Okay, sorry, this is going to be a funny story. So, do you remember that famous YouTube video from the past year where the gentleman is in a large box store like a Walmart or a Costco, and he wanders up to the unattended employee phone, and then he flatulates into the phone, and all you hear is and walks away? I was playing that video and laughing. Unbeknownst to me, when that kicked in, it was hooked up to the kid's Bluetooth, and Rich got nice because it just made this sound, and it came through his speaker. So not only did that happen, but it was that video clip. Priceless moment.
So you think someone broke into his room and
Yeah. Now to really mess with him, this is probably a little bit of parental meanness, but it was a thing last couple of years. I forget what video game it's from. It's Siren Head. Siren Head was like the bad guy or the scary thing. It's exactly what it says. It looks like a tornado siren on top of a stickman's body. Well,
Right.
anyway, the siren had noise. I knew it was hooked up, and
Yeah.
he was dilly-dallying in his room. And I'm like, watch this. And I put on the siren head thing, and it started coming through his Bluetooth speaker. And he about, pardon me, shat himself as he came out of his, oh, better hurry up. Siren head's coming, So there's probably going to be a couple years of therapy because of me. But
So speaking of Bluetooth, Maxwell says there was a Shark Tank product where you had surgery to permanently add a Bluetooth system in your home.
bad idea.
Yeah, that is a bad idea.
Because what all of a sudden, if something else comes along and Bluetooth technology is, when you're 95 years old, you got this implant that won't do anything.
True.
Except when you walk into a thrift shop and all of a sudden your ear starts going crazy. Not a good idea.
All right, number 6. The camera cell phone. The year 2000. In 2000, digital camera telephones formally grew to become commercially accessible. This is one of the inventions from this decade. While a lot of huge electronics firms started rolling out their very own variations, Sharp's JSH04 was the first to enter the market. So, and let's think about it. When's the last time you saw someone with an actual camera?
Only professionals.
Right. That wasn't a photographer making money off of it.
Yeah. Can you think of anything? And this is getting real deep. What an impact to society, positively and negatively.
Oh yeah.
Because like it's amazing. You could take pictures of scenery, your kids at an instant notice. But
well, see, and that's all you need to say. The positive is you can take pictures at an instant notice. The negative is you can take pictures at an instant notice.
Yeah. We'll just keep it at that. How many lives and careers have been ruined because of that?
And how many times have we given thanks that there were no camera phones back when we were young?
Oh gosh. No, we were pure as the driven snow, but still the pressure would have been terrible.
Yeah. All right, number 5, and I'm surprised this is number 5. It seemed like it'd be higher. 2004, Facebook.
Dang, has it been that long?
Yep. So from his Harvard dorm room, Mark Zuckerberg created what would grow to be the world's largest social media community, Facebook, then known as the Facebook.
The Walmarts, the
Walmarts.
Facebooks.
Originally, the platform was solely accessible to Harvard students. However, as soon as it picked up in reputation, it shortly expanded. And by 2008-ish, it had supplanted the previous record holder there, or the previous king of the mountain, MySpace.
MySpace. What a wild west that was.
Yep.
I only had MySpace for less than a year, and it caused me misery.
Is that right?
Misery. Oh, Lord. I mean, because it was so unregulated, and like, somebody created a whole identity to like slander. To this day, I don't know who it was. To this day.
Like someone created a fake profile in your name?
No, they would post on MySpace this whole fictional story about how I had a secret family in Florida and just all these details.
Okay, Charles Kuralt.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was crazy. But it did create one of the best moments. I was walking through the living room and something was on in the background, some like one of those talk shows, like a Jerry Springer kind of crap that was on. And some guy was talking about how his significant other had hacked onto his MySpace and invaded his privacy. He said, "Just remember, it's called MySpace, not your space." And I thought that was a brilliant quip.
Yes. All right. Next on the list, number 4, the Toyota Prius, 2001.
Really? Wow, it's been
Yeah.
around that long.
So Toyota launched its first hybrid automobile, the Prius, in 1997 in Japan. It wasn't until 2001 the car became accessible worldwide. Prius is one of the first unique vehicles powered each by gasoline and electrical energy.
And it's awesome, but I don't know what I don't like about it. It's small, because it is what it is. If it was just me and I was having to commute, if I was like in LA trap, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
But it does not, I don't know. I want to say something, but I don't want to offend any of our listeners. Dude, not everybody that has a Prius. So our earbuds that have a Prius, we love you. This doesn't apply to you. But there was always a whiff of pretension to a lot of Prius drivers.
Like I care more about the world than you do.
Well, while you're driving around your SUV, I've got my Prius. And like I said, there was just a little bit of pretense. Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed. All right, number 3 on the 2000 to 2009 list, the Wii.
That's pretty cool.
It is. All right. September 2006, Nintendo launched a brand new revolutionary gaming console, the Wii. In order to compete with different main-in style gaming consoles comparable to Sony's PlayStation and Microsoft's Xbox, the Wii introduced a twist to gaming and allowed gamers to get bodily concerned about their digital video games. From tennis to Mario Kart, the Wii was in style, even amongst individuals who did not consider themselves avid gamers, and bought greater than 101 million Wiis.
There was the aerobics version. It was not for children, but you put it into your exercise thing, and admirable. They gave it their best go, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
So,
all right, number 2 on this list, the iPhone.
Yeah.
2007.
I said, "Oh, nobody will ever buy those."
I said the same thing.
Yeah, it's like that's not practical.
So in early 2007, Steve Jobs took the stage at Macworld in San Francisco and revealed a revolutionary product, the iPhone, the smartphone that modified the best way the general public checked out phones was a 3-in-1 product, a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. And it was revolutionary. I'll give him that.
Yes, very much so.
All right, so that's the 2000 to 2009. So moving on to 2010 through
recent
2000,
history.
Yeah, or more recent history. All right, so this is Reader's Digest. This is their take on it.
Good gosh, Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
Are we going to watch Matlock after we finish reading it?
Right after Murder, She Wrote.
In the Waltons.
All right. On this list is the video doorbell.
Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty darn awesome.
Yeah. 2013. The original video doorbell was called the Doorbot, which recorded activity outside the front door. This was a Shark Tank initiative. Though the panel of judges on Shark Tank didn't make him an offer that worked for him, so he launched on his own and changed the name to Ring. Sold it to Amazon in 2018
for a couple cents.
More than $1 billion.
Get out.
And the rest is history.
And I'm going to go one farther. Not only has it prevented crimes and solved crimes, it's saved lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
And it puts the kibosh on the porch pirates, too.
Yep.
We will find you.
And we will bash you. All right. Next on the list, 2010, the Apple iPad.
Yeah,
So
it was the first tablet, wasn't it?
Yep. Yep. A hybrid of smartphone, laptop, providing a larger touchscreen that was used to control the device. And like you said, the very first tablet, which obviously gave rise to many others.
So here's the thing. When it comes to technology, do not listen to me for investing advice. Because when I saw the tablet, I was like, God, who wants one of those? You know, you got a computer, you got a laptop. Why do you need that for?
And that's why we're not rich.
Yes.
Okay, so some of the things on this list, I'm not sure why they're on the list. As a matter of fact, I've never heard of them, but I'll throw this one out here. The SNOO, SNOO. So this is the SNOO Smart Sleeper. Entered the market in 2016, designed to mimic the sounds and motions of a womb.
No, thank you.
This responsive bassinet helps reduce crying and naturally sleep trains a baby. So at what point do you leave the womb? I guess that's my question. I mean, if you have to mimic the womb after the baby is born. Now, I will maintain my son, who is now almost 22, he could sleep through a hurricane,
a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, because from his very earliest days, and I was an athletic director, he was always at basketball games in a gym with a bunch of people screaming. He could sleep through that. We didn't have to tiptoe around the house because he just slept. So we're making bassinets that mimic the womb.
Okay, I think I could recreate that.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah. Okay, so instead of getting all high tech, and if you're on a budget and can't afford the SNOO,
SNOO.
SNOO. Okay, there's no. Yeah, it's not a womb. It's not a SNOO. It's just a SNOO.
Not to be confused with the shmoo.
It's Saturday morning cartoon, the incredible new type shmoo. But anyway, I could recreate a SNOO on a budget by just taking my phone or device, and I'm going to get surrounded in water balloons. So it would come through that and like, and it would sound like, you know, various womb-like sounds and borborygmi and all those kind of things that go on. Hey, George Carlin taught me things were educational. I learned that the sound that a stomach makes, it was called borborygmi.
Borborygmi, yes.
Because he said the word sounded like what it sounded like. Borborygmi. So, bless you, George.
Hell yes. All right, next one. 2016. Facial recognition technology.
What year?
2016.
Dang, I thought it was earlier than that.
Popularized by Apple's iPhone X or 10, or I think the X meant 10, but I think they called it X. I don't know, but I never had one.
I disagree. Okay, maybe it's maybe commercially except, you know, produced, but I swear I was seeing facial recognition technology in movies for far before that.
Okay, so let me back up here. Conceived by Woody Bledsoe, Helen Chan Wolf, and Charles Bisson.
Sounds like a Shakespearean troupe.
In the early 1960s.
Oh.
Facial recognition technology has exploded over the last decade. Specifically Amazon's recognition software, which was introduced in 2016. So I guess I forgot to qualify that.
Okay. That's fair. It's fair.
Yeah. All right. So on the iPhone X, that's where it was really first used in that manner.
Yeah.
All right. 2012. Bioprinting. So basically, using 3D printers to like print body parts and things.
Oh, well, yeah. Like 3D printer, but for
Yeah.
but I gotcha. Like, replacement leg part, where they could make
Yeah.
bones and things like that. That's pretty awesome.
So 2012 was the first synthetic tracheas to stabilize the breathing of struggling baby. 2017 successfully built and transplanted a thyroid into a rat. So I think we're probably not far from this being like used on a widespread basis. I mean,
Like organ transplants, where there's just like a synthetic generic meat product. Sorry, you know what I mean. That
Yeah.
they would 3D print organs. So if you need a pancreas, there it is.
So the method uses bioprinting. It uses the stem cells of the host to create the organ. So you only need a cell. You don't need anything else.
Yeah,
It's
that's pretty cool.
fascinating.
That is.
All right. Next one. 2010. Netflix streaming.
It was so cool. And I remember when it came out, I was thinking, this is so nifty, but the average Joe will never be able to afford it. This is going to be a high-end toy that will never make its way to the masses. Once again, did you think the same thing, Eric?
I did.
Yeah. So we share a common mind. I think we are practical people, but despite,
which again is why we're not rich. We're practical.
Yeah, we're safe.
Yeah.
So
too safe. All right. So of course Netflix gave rise to other things, and now Brady, I don't think you have anything other than streaming devices in your house for TV, do you?
No. We cut the cord probably about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
and me as well. All my TV comes via stream. So
yeah.
All right. Next one. 2013. Semi-autonomous cars. So cars that can drive themselves or steer themselves.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just kind of be a human being there, but
Yeah.
not totally autonomous yet.
You talk about taking a leap of faith. Like my good friend and foot surgeon, she has a Tesla that has the self-driving thing. And I asked her, one time, it's like, hey, do you ever use it? She's like, if you're from our area, Route 32 is a 4-lane highway that is very straight with not a lot of stop traffic. Said she will occasionally do it then, but, not completely at ease. So,
I can't even hardly sit in the car with someone else, another human being driving. I couldn't imagine a car driving itself, or me in a car driving itself.
It is funny this topic comes up because just 2 days ago, I taught my daughter, who is now driving, how to use the cruise control. She's like, well, I've heard of it, but I don't know how it works. And she legit asked me the questions. So she said, so can I just sit back? Can I take my hands off the wheels? Like, no, because new generation, right?
Right.
No, it's like, no. It just keeps the gas pedal down. It doesn't steer you. It's not like a Tesla or something like that. Yeah. Which reminds me of I don't know if this was real or urban legend, when cruise control first came out. They said there was somebody from another country that rented an RV, and they were going down the highway and set the cruise control, and they went back to get something out of the fridge, and it drove off the road and had an accident because they thought cruise control was autopilot.
Right.
But I don't think there's ever been a verification of that story.
Urban legend.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Technically founded in 2009, but became much bigger after that. Uber. Start off as an app for people in San Francisco who wanted to order a car ride via their smartphone, has turned into a several billion-dollar worldwide company and inspired competitors like Lyft and Juno.
I'm not familiar with the last one.
Yeah, I've never heard of Juno. I've used
Um,
Lyft. I've used Uber.
Yeah. Vegas last year in late September, um, our whole transportation thing was Uber.
Yep.
From the airport back to the airport to the concert, getting around, was definitely Uber, and it worked flawlessly.
Yep.
So,
So same
mad
here.
props.
Yep. All right. Next, 2010. Instagrams. And I've said it before. I don't get it.
Don't chastise me, earbuds. But like Facebook came first and then Instagram. And I know there are some subtle differences, but they were same enough where I just went with what I was familiar with.
Yeah.
And I find Instagram a little bit more unwieldy. Now, I legit think what Instagram is the hipper set. My mom and dad and grandparents use Facebook. I'm cool. I got Instagram. And it's more of that. But somebody set me straight what the advantage is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I
Yeah.
said, I don't get it. I mean, the podcast has an Instagrams,
Yeah.
but all I ever do with it, honestly, is I just cross post between Facebook and Instagram because you can do
They're
that 'cause,
related.
yeah, Facebook owns Instagram, but as far as me trolling Instagram, I don't. I just again, I don't get it. All right, 2010, but really didn't become big until 2016. Outstanding invention, in my opinion, the air fryer.
The cult.
Yes.
I'm a cult member.
As am I. Obviously, the idea is to achieve the same crispiness in fried food and oil, but using extremely fast-moving air instead. And Oprah was responsible for it hitting huge in 2016 because she named it one of her favorite things. An air fryer for you. An air fryer for you.
It is pretty nifty. There's only a couple things, and I will have to say that I was not responsible for it, but someone in my house tried to like simulate the stir fry of a zucchini thing in the air fryer, and they just became zucchini chips. And it was messy for me to clean up.
Yeah.
So it did not work. That's the only epic fail I've seen. Have you ever been tempted to put something in the air fryer just to see what would happen? Like mashed potatoes, or
No,
just
no.
something.
No, I haven't.
I'm sorry about my barking dogs, by the way.
All right, next. 2010. Squaw, otherwise known as Square. With so many people being self-employed and taking on multiple side hustles, we needed a better way to pay for goods and services. Enter Squaw, a small device you can plug into your smartphone or tablet and turn it into a credit card reader. Now, here's my surprise. Do you know who started and launched Squaw?
I do not.
Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. I don't think there's been an industry more impacted by the squaw than food trucks. Because all of a sudden, it opened up that whole credit capability and cashless. And because of that, food trucks exploded for that reason. Now, I don't have facts to back that up, but I thought that somewhere in my head.
I think that's true.
It's my hypothesis.
Hypotheses. All right. 2010s, 2014, actually. Smart speakers. Amazon's Alexa was the first, 2014,
Okay. Gotcha.
followed by Google Assistant shortly thereafter. So today, 26.2% of the U.S. adult population has a smart speaker in their home. Or
Alexa, turn
multiples.
off the lights.
Yeah.
Alexa, what is the temperature?
Alexa is always listening, as is the Google whatever assistant.
Hey, true story. I think we mentioned this on here before. I made an off the cuff comment like shortly after I got Alexa. It's like I was talking about my backyard. And I said, I've always wanted to put a gazebo back there. I swear to God, in my ads, there's nothing but gazebo ads.
Yeah.
Alexa ratted me out.
Yeah. All right. 2012. Actually, it started in 2009, hit big in 2013. Venmo. Reason why it hit big in 2013, it was purchased by PayPal. Now projected to drive, this is back in 2019, almost $100 billion in total processing volume.
I use Venmo. I wish more people had Venmo because daggone it makes life very, very easy because nobody carries cash anymore.
Right.
So, oh crap, I forgot my wallet in the car. Going through the drive-through, your finger gets it, Venmo them immediately. The funds.
Yep.
It's just a convenience thing. Makes life very, very easy.
Yep. All right, 2011. Don't know if you have one of these, Brady.
Mm-hmm.
When you're conducting commerce,
Oh no.
the squatty potty may help you.
The squatty potty.
Though we have become accustomed to sitting on a toilet when doing our business, many places around the world squat over a latrine on the ground. And when Bobby Edwards' mother became chronically constipated, her doctor suggested that she try using a footstool to raise her knees while she sat on the toilet. She tried it and it worked wonders. And in 2011, the squatty potty was born.
I think squatrine latrine would have been the way to go. Squatine latrine.
$19 million in sales in the year 2016.
That is literally full of squat. Wow.
Change the way many people use the toilet. Also helps spark a wider conversation about digestive health and bathroom habits. Have you been ever in said conversation about digestive health and bathroom habits?
Not in polite company. Just around my friends. And it's usually to laugh at.
on this show. So I guess we're in impolite company here.
I had no idea that was it. Well, okay, not big. It's a very simple thing. It's just like lifting your feet off the ground. I honestly am surprised it took that long.
Yeah,
that somebody hadn't figured that out sooner.
I mean, which in all seriousness, they say that is the more natural positioning to be in when you're conducting commerce.
For who?
That your body was built that way to squat.
I'm sorry. I have not wandered across anybody in that level of proneness in my life. I think it was a fluke. I think somebody's like, hey, I could go better. It actually is probably like some ancient civilization where all they had was like cheese and everything. So it became difficult. And poor Thag wandered away from the fire, all miserable, and probably decided to put his feet up on a rock and like, ooh, that worked well. And then that's where it went. But I don't think it's just well-known knowledge that works. There has to be a story how that was thunk.
I don't know.
I don't need to know it, but I bet it's true.
All right, finally.
Finally.
I've never purchased one of these. I've considered it. I don't know if you have or not. 2015 beds in boxes. The boxed mattresses. Casper launched in 2015. Now there are many companies that do that.
Yes. My mother was terrified. It seems to me like she bought a boxed bed. And she's like, now you mean to tell me, for real, this is going to turn into a queen size mattress? And it did. It did. Now it's kind of like dough rising. It's not instantaneous. Don't flop it out of the box and expect to have a good night's sleep in 10 minutes.
Right.
But it is pretty much a miracle. It'd be funny to somebody like who ordered one of those, just bring them a bar of soap wrapped up like in the box. Say, here's your bed. And then just have it delivered through a side hatch or something. And then they, not clue them into it. It came from that box.
All right. So there's your list of prominent inventions in the year 2000 to 2009 and 2010 to 2019.
And this will be my final word on that. There is only one gadget that I was on the cusp of, and I thought it would do well, and it did, and that was the Kindle. When that came out, I said, oh, bloody brilliant. I could download books and not have to go to the bookstore. I could read at night. There's so many miracle things. It was so slim. When I saw the Kindle, as an avid reader, I'm like, yeah, this is for me. That's going to be the only one of the gadgets where I was like correct on.
And actually, the Kindle was on another list that I looked at, and I don't know why I didn't end up with that list, but it was on there. I believe that was 2000 to 2009, sometime when the Kindle first came out.
Yes.
All right. Want to once again talk about our website and specifically T-shirts, of which I am modeling tonight. The play-by-ear T-shirt.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt.
If you would like to order one of your very own, you can go to our website and you can click on the link in the top menu that says store. And then you can scroll down to the bottom where you can see a picture of the shirt I just showed you and click on said shirt. And that would take you to our Buy Me a Coffee website where you can purchase a shirt.
And not just being a shirt shill, but seriously, it is the softest, most velvety touched, wonderfully comfortable shirt. And I'm not just saying that. I genuinely support, the product, not just what's on it, but it is a phenomenal shirt.
As do I. So if you want one again of your very own, you can go to our website, click on the store link, and you can get one.
All right. Are you ready for me to take this away?
I am.
Okay, my topic is going to be everyday things that people do that are super annoying. In other words, that person or that thing that people do that just grinds your gears, sets your teeth on edge, and makes you want to grumble, curse, and harumph. They're annoying. It's very annoying. And I'm just going to get right to it because it doesn't need much of an introduction. So it's listed. I don't know how much the order really matters. It's just a list. By the way, this comes from scoopwhoop.com. 30 everyday things that are really annoying that people do. And 30 is the negative attitude person. Now, I'm not talking about people that tend to have negative attitudes, but it's this kind of negative attitude. You joined that place? No point, man. Bad decision. Don't do that. Why'd you do that? Why'd you join that place? Like immediately, something that you're excited about, they have to call the negative to it.
Yes.
So,
just brings you down. It kills the entire mojo of what's going on.
Yes. So yeah, it's just a bring down. How about people who give you missed calls expecting you to call back? Now, let me define that. So I call you, Eric, and I
Yeah.
let it ring twice and hang up.
Right.
And then I call and let it ring twice and hang up. I'm not going to waste my breath and leave a message. I'm just going to hang up abruptly and expect you to call back. And that's exactly what they sound like when they say it.
Okay. So I've mentioned him before. One of my favorite comedians, Gary Coleman, has a little bit on this text messaging, which also was on one of the other lists I looked at. Text messaging being revolutionized in the 2010s decade, which I will say again, a lupine excursion, a small one. I never thought text messaging was going to take off. Matter of fact, I spurned text messaging when it first started. Like, why do you need text messaging when you can call somebody? You have a phone in your hand. Why do I need to send a written message that seems antiquated? I think
And
it's
yet,
outstanding, although I do believe it is tied into the lack of socialization of people.
the more we get connected, the more isolated we become.
That's deep,
Yep.
very deep.
Okay.
All right, where was I going? I forgot the Gary Coleman thing.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so he was talking about text messaging, and people don't take calls anymore. It's like you have to make an appointment to call somebody. How dare you call me without texting first to see if I'm receiving calls?
How many times have I texted in the last few months, hey, can I call you real quick?
I do. I never make a call without doing it, as a matter of fact,
And
unless
I
I'm
think the
calling a
reason
business.
is because we feel like we're intruding. We're so connected, but there's no boundary. So it's kind of like us installing boundaries where they can't exist. So that becomes our boundary. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yes.
So I
Keep it
guess the
in.
ultimate question is, how does voicemail still exist, other than to be left annoying messages by companies?
Ah, gosh. And when they leave the 1 minute ones,
Okay, so I'm going to complain about this particular organization, although they do outstanding work. I will not complain about the work they do. I will, however, complain about their method of eliciting customers or clients. Hawksworth Blood Center, giving blood. You can give blood like every 8 weeks, and they know when that 8th week happens because they start calling and leaving you messages. Now I understand it; they need it. It's a needed commodity. Get all that. So the people that leave the voicemails, they will go, "Hello, hello.
the
This is so and
pregnant
so from."
pause.
It's like they have to say hello first to make sure it's not like a robotic, a fake number or something. Like they have to kick something in to make sure a voicemail doesn't start. Or I don't know what it is, but like you'll listen to the message of hello, hello. This is so and so from Hoxer. Come on, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, that pause is. I've had those, or when they say it in a question mark, where it sounds like it could be a conversation. Brady, yes, and then it starts.
No, but that happens on the other end too, because some people will set their voicemail message to be hello, hello, hello.
We don't have to get to give your voice message thing is like what we want. But see, you can't do that because there's that risk where it could be something serious or a superior or something
Right.
that wouldn't go over well.
I think I may do that after I retire, though.
What?
What? Continue, sir.
Yes. Next one: dressing room and bathroom selfies.
into the mirror.
It's not necessary. Okay, I understand. Somebody's trying on an outfit. The ladies out there, and they take a picture of the outfit and send it to their friend for a direct response.
Yeah,
Don't put it on social media.
correct.
Yeah.
You're trying to garner opinion as to whether you should buy said article of clothing. Makes sense. As a social media, Instagrams specifically, that's what I would suspect.
Yeah.
But again, like I
Absolutely.
said, I don't troll Instagrams, but it sounds like an
Yeah.
Instagram sort of thing.
The next one. Foot draggers. I'm so lazy to pick up my feet, I'm just going to drag them everywhere. Screech, squeeze, squish, squish.
So what if I have drop foot? What if I
Well,
have
now
I
there's
have back
reasons why
problems?
the dropsy, but I'm talking about the people that just shuffle, like they do not have the gumption to lift their feet that 1/4 inch up.
Everybody shuffling. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh man. Now I haven't heard anybody complain about this next one, but it still is horrific. The chain message massacre. Now, what the chain message massacre is, and they're being facetious, but that if you forward this to 1,000 friends, you will get good news, and if you ignore it, you die. Message this, I love you, be safe, to 10,000 people, or a puppy is going to die. And it's just like, what a horrible thing to even start. Don't pressure me to send something.
Yes.
I'll tell you when I want to send it. I will let you know if I wish to send it. Don't threaten me.
Now, an extension of that to a point is those posts that people will put on social media telling this whole story about something, and they say then share this if you have a person that is blah blah blah. And again, the cause is generally good, but like you read this thing thinking this happened to this person here and I feel bad, and then all of a sudden it didn't technically happen to them, but they're tying into something else.
Nothing. And hello, Mr. Heron. Nothing will be self-fulfilling prophecy. Like somebody who starts a social media post out with, I bet you won't share this, but yeah, you're right. If it starts out like that, I go right on. I'm not even going to read
it. That's what I was going to say. I will not only not share it, I will not read it. So there you go.
Yeah, that unreasonably annoys me.
So Brady, do you, as Mr. Heron says here, just let the puppy die? Have you ever felt guilty that you may have inadvertently killed a puppy because you didn't share said post?
Oh, good Lord. Stop. That hit me in the feels a little bit. Let's see. I don't know. This seems like it doesn't belong on the list because it's not about a person. It's just an annoying thing. But daggone, when your laptop gets extra hot and it's on your lap, you can actually cook eggs on your thighs because the laptop is so hot. You ever had that?
Sometimes I generally don't put the laptop on my lap, but I don't.
Where do you put it?
Put it on a table.
Oh, okay.
I mean, on my lap. I know it's called laptop, but I just
getting the forearm top.
I cannot do my business with a computer sitting in my lap trying to type. I think that's uncomfortable.
Why are you feeling the need to take the laptop there to begin with?
What are you talking about?
You just said that you can't do your business if it's on your lap.
I don't mean that kind of business. I know when you say do your business on this show, that generally that's what we're talking about. I just mean business
I wasn't
in
even
general.
being funny there. I was genuinely horrified. It's like, dude,
sometimes
do you really need the computer in there that bad?
You got to multitask sometimes.
Ooh. Okay. People who think that their professions are worthy of praise. I'm a doctor. It isn't as easy as being a journalist. Now, I'm going to throw some shade at my own profession. I'm a teacher. You're a teacher and a principal. Dear God, teachers need to just tamp it down a little bit. Yes, I know we're unappreciated, but we don't need to shout it from the mountaintops every time.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
we do important work, but lots of people do important work.
well, yeah, and see, that's just it. We don't have to nuclear physicist try being a teacher. Everybody picks their professions and their battles, and they have their ups and downs. But yeah, teachers, we've been there. We know that, but still, don't be annoying about it.
And I think maybe some of that is that we don't feel appreciated, so we feel the need to
Carp
do
about
that.
it a lot, yeah, and I get it, but just we don't want to turn the tide more against. You know what I mean?
Right.
So another thing I just had a conversation with my daughter about. Drivers on the right lane going slower than people in the left. They got it wrong here. People driving in the left lane and just staying there like they're in Britain, and everybody's passing them on the right.
Yeah. And the thing is, they don't get it. Like, you could pass them on the right, and I will most generally, in my road ragey self, will issue them a steely glare as I pass them.
Let me see your steely glare, Eric. Sorry, I'll try to describe it. Yes, that is pretty steely.
And it comes with a head shake. But
a dismissive.
But I think this is a bigger problem because these same people are just oblivious to the world around them in general. Because if they were not driving a car and they were just out walking, they're the people who are in the grocery store just kind of meandering around. You can't get around them. They don't understand that there are people behind them with stuff to get to, and they're just meandering. They have no perception of anything around them. It just extends to a car.
Yeah.
I feel that I am very cognizant of that. And I get angry at myself when I impede someone's progress.
Yeah. But I do. Oh, man. Have you ever been behind the person that's impeding progress and they know they're impeding progress? So when you pass them, you get the stink eye because you're going faster?
Or you try to pass them and they speed up. I mean, I just want to throw down right there.
Well, I'm not even talking about the car. I think the worst one is when you're walking.
Oh, yeah.
Like the grocery store.
Right.
And then you go around them and it's like, and they give you that look. It's like, sorry.
See, but the thing about me is I'm admittedly a slow walker. I think that's why I'm cognizant of people around me, because most people walk faster than me for whatever reason. Like, I can't keep up with my wife when she walks. She's a fast walker, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. There are those occasional people I do pass and they do give you that look.
Yeah. No, my family complains about my speed walking. I blamed it on Ohio State and Moorhead. That, just truck it to classes.
Right.
And I don't think it never left my system.
And I went to NKU, which is probably the most compact college campus in the United States.
Yeah. So, okay, this next one, I don't know if this is still a thing. I think this is dying. Facebook game requests.
Yeah, it is dying.
Candy Crush, Farmville, all those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think their annoyance is like it's no longer profitable because it annoys people.
I think people do apps on their cell phones now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Games.
Okay. Let's see. How about those who rush in a bus or a subway so early, but they don't let people exit. Now, here in small townville,
Elevators. Same deal.
oh, yes, thank you. So you haven't even been able to get out yet, and the barbarians are storming the gate.
Right.
It's like, let me out.
Well, but yeah, I can almost understand the subway or whatever. But that elevator isn't going anywhere until these people get out. You don't
It's
need to
just
get
going up or
in.
down.
You don't need to get in. And it's not going anywhere till everyone gets in. So sit your butt back and wait for everybody to get out.
I think the place that I see that the most, I'm gonna go with sporting events.
Yeah.
Like something, that where a bunch of people are coming at once. That's my best. And I can't even really tell you why I've gotten in an elevator at a sporting event, but that's sticking in my mind. So
Well, but again, I will go and talk about the bigger problem here. The bigger problem is my time is more important than your time. I'm in a hurry, so I need to get in ahead of you. Even if it keeps you from going the same place as I'm going with equal speed, I need to
it's
get
not
ahead
like
of
there's a magical elevator for the first person in.
No.
Yeah. The next one, this is a thing and not a person. The overstuck price tag or tag where it is so sticky and adhesed to the object that it will not come off. Something that it needs to be off of. Think of like a mirror that you've just purchased for your house. Or
and it leaves that glue film residue on it.
it leaves that residue that will be there until the next
no matter how much you scrub
or
it will
scrape.
always
And
be there.
everybody's been there because you got out that butter knife and tried to get it.
Yep.
So you tried the smooth side, then you tried the serrated side, and then you just end up mutilating it. But all you've made is more mutilations of the piece of film. So instead of having one nice piece of film, it's in a billion little pieces to obstruct your view.
Or you try to use your finger and rub it off, but then it just smears it all over the place.
And then it gets on your finger, it won't come off. So
that is correct.
Yeah. The adhesive people, get on that. This is the opposite of what we were talking about earlier. Those who choose just to stand when the line is moving.
Example?
Oh, absolutely. I've got one. At a theme park, and you're in line, and the line is moving, but somebody's either canoodling with their significant other or checking something on their cell phone, and the line has moved to North Dakota, and you're still waiting on them to move. And then you've got to make up all that space. Now, that one, getting up there is important because I want to get on the ride. I don't need to see you tonsil box the person you're with and slowing things down.
You know what would remedy that issue? A knee twixt the cheeks would remedy that situation.
Which cheeks?
You know which cheeks.
Okay. I didn't know if you were knee lifting somebody or
no.
Yeah. A well-placed knee to one's Cossacks. But all right. Jaywalking, but not the normal garden variety jaywalking. Somebody who doesn't take the footbridge or the crosswalk. It looks like they're escaping East Germany in like 1950, where they're darting through traffic, that person. And not only it gives you anxiety because you either had to slow down or avoid them, then you're wondering if they're going to get hit.
Like human Frogger.
Like human Frogger, absolutely. There's no need for that.
No.
If you're being chased by Michael Myers or something like that, fine. But it's usually somebody just doesn't want to walk that extra 15 feet down to the crosswalk. And I guarantee you they did more running and maneuvering by the choice they took instead of taking the safe and responsible choice.
Facts.
All right. Somebody who gives the wrong turn signal. So they put the left turn signal on, but they turn right.
I don't
I've
see
seen
that
this
much.
very few times.
Yeah, I don't see
But
that.
when it does happen, an embolism forms right here. I mean, I was dumbfounded. Like their blinkers on, and I'm slowing down for them, but all of a sudden they go the complete opposite direction. And besides wanting to like physically assault them, I wonder what happened, what led to this.
See, I'm more annoyed by the person who forgets to turn the turn signal off, and they come up on an intersection, and you're turning out of said intersection, and you're looking at this person with their turn signal, and you're thinking, okay, they're going to turn. I can go ahead and go out. Oh no, they don't slow down.
And it's always the same 4 words. Whether it's you, me, my saintly mother, or the Pope himself. Nice turn signal and use orifice sphincter. That's what it is. There's no variation. It's those 4 words.
I can't imagine Linda Liming saying that.
Oh, I've heard her. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Mom. I'm kidding, Mom. So, would you pay money though?
Oh, I would.
So,
I may turn into a tuft of salt, but
okay. This one is grotesque and adult. Actually, anybody over the age of 6, this shouldn't happen. And that is bad peeing aims. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who would quickly didn't raise a seat. I'm talking about Mr. Showerhead that, like, they probably
Okay.
hit everything but the toilet bowl.
Okay, now I'm gonna take some exception to this. Okay.
Oh, please don't tell me you don't
Because-
think it's gross.
Well, no, it's not couth. I will give you that. But when you're 50 years old, things don't work as they used to. You do get that that shower setting on the garden hose, so to speak, when you're
This
not
is venturing into
expecting
too
it.
much information.
So yeah, sometimes it happens and you don't mean for it to.
Okay, but you know
like
what?
a conversation I have with my wife. Well, then she says, "Well, maybe you should sit down." No, I will not
No.
sit down. Absolutely not.
There's cards taken away when that happens.
Right.
But no, and somebody could have that said shower head affliction, okay? But nobody would ever have to know. Nobody would have to know if one would just wipe it up. Now, sometimes it is ignorance. It could be the middle of the night and just not aware. You're on autopilot.
Right.
You're making the sound like the zombie from Scooby-Doo and going into the bathroom, probably walking the same way. So, but I'm talking about knowingly.
I think that was. That was it, wasn't it?
Do that one more time. I like the raise and pitch and everything. The second one has to be higher. The first one's in C. The second one's in C sharp.
So it's like the bridge in a song. You have to go up that.
It's the key change, the groaning key change. Oh. Hit my funny bone. But no, if one would just wipe it up, especially if you knowingly did it, because the only person that does that, and you can see it, they have both hands on their hips. They're like, ha, not me. And they walk off.
Both hands on their hips.
Yeah, that's what they did. That's what they're doing.
Whilst
not
they're
like that.
conducting commerce. Is that what you're saying?
It could be, but afterwards, nobody just goes, no, it's like, and they walk off. There's a pose, both hands on the hips. Let's see. We've broken the top 10 to this list. And somebody, and we've talked about this before, but it needs to be brought up. The person who not accidentally skews into another parking place, but somebody who does it intentionally because their car is so important. I need 2 spots. And like it was mentioned in a previous episode, it happened last summer. It stays with me. It was in Nashville, and it was at a hotel that we were stopping at for the night, and somebody parked their Mercedes right on the line, and it was the last space in the parking lot.
You know the thought that goes through my mind every time I encounter that?
What?
Oh, how I wish I had a $500 car. I would wedge that person into that space as such that they could not get into their door.
If it were close in proximity, if it was across the street and there was a car rental place, I would go rent a smart car or a Fiat, and I would wedge that thing in.
A Yugo. A Yugo would be perfect for that.
Are there any Yugos on the road? Those were notoriously horrible. So I wonder, I
can't imagine that there are.
Yeah. Anybody who thinks communism's a good idea? Look at the Yugo. All right. So, how about, okay, once again, we are talking in polite company. When somebody has indigestion and they burp, but instead like, oh, excuse me, oh, sorry, man, but it's like when they put the tagline with it to try to normalize what has just happened. I don't think you know what I ate. Here's the smell. Ha ha ha. Bad people.
Have you ever actually heard someone say that?
Well, no, I've heard him do the very sophomoric, the better to burp than taste it then. And there's just no sense in that. Now, if I'm with my friends, I'm with my close core, and we're being juvenile and sophomoric like we have been known to be, and I've just binged on Thai food, and I want to sound like a foghorn in a major shipping lane. No, but if I'm someplace and one comes up, it's like, excuse me, you don't have to be cute or clever. It doesn't have to happen. It's like, well, what do you think of that one?
So have you ever actually heard?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I have.
No. Someone in a public place.
Yes.
Who has ever said, better to burp and taste?
Yes, I have.
Oh, my back hurts.
Are you broken? Oh, but and they're liars. Even they're saying to cover up their social sin, but they are liars because it's unpleasant tasting and it burns. At least the other way.
Oh, I think the other way could burn too.
Well,
I'm sure it doesn't taste very good either. But
so,
now,
Lord,
we have a couple comments about this. Savannah someone once told her that a burp is a smart fart and took the elevator out.
Well, we have to go back to our friendship's history Mr. Griffin, if you're listening, Todd, if you were out there, daggone a comment. The tournament began at Sycamore High School in the early 90s, where someone had mouth flatulence, where they burped and projected it to the crowd, and you saw 10 rows of people faint, die, and have permanent respiratory damage because what came up was so toxic. It smelled exactly like it should have came out the other way. And it was one of the most horrible things that I've ever been around. I was 10 rows up, and I was wondering what was wrong with everybody.
and the person that was doing it
Was aware.
Was aware and taking advantage, but said the taste was absolutely awful. like there was something that happened.
Something was wrong with
his plumbing. Like
but I still remember this
inside his body was not working as it should.
The thing I remember most about that, besides the obvious, is the look on the person's face was like the cat that ate the canary. Like,
well, it was the cat that ate the canary after he got done going. Ugh.
It was a horrible thing. So
Mr. Heron says better through the chimney than the sewer pipe.
Oh gosh.
So that's a variation on better to burp and taste it. And by the way, Jim, no, that's not the sound I make when I don't try to pee. I do pee. I don't make that sound. It's the Scooby-Doo zombie.
One more time, Eric.
Oh.
Key change. When I'm having a bad day, I'm going to call you and put you on speakerphone. That's what made me laugh.
Never not be funny.
Who makes you wonder? Did somebody actually sound like you know what makes people think that ghosts and ghouls sound like constipated people? You know. Anyway, so here is that we're getting near the top of the list. Advice from people who have never been in that same situation. Now, hear me out. I'm not talking about people with their hearts in the right place and trying to make it. No, I'm just like somebody comes up like, man, I was in Thailand and the traffic was so bad. Oh, it's like that all the time. Oh, you been to Thailand? No. So they offer advice like, well, what you need to do is do this, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you been there? No. Like they have this secret wealth of knowledge. Now, mind you, me and you both, we had that broad and wide and thin knowledge pool.
An inch deep and 10 miles wide is how I always describe it.
But we would never have the chutzpah to like overhear a conversation in the airport or in line. It's like, well, when I'm crocheting, this happens. And me say, well, why don't you try? You know?
Right.
So anyway, people who use a million hashtags unnecessarily, like why, hashtag would, hashtag you, hashtag use, hashtag so many, you know, that does get a little bit annoying. I think there should be a federal law. You get 3 hashtags and then you pay a tax on each time it comes immediately out of your account.
So I wonder if those people understand the purpose of a hashtag. Now, the purpose of a hashtag is so you can find threads of conversations about that same topic. There is not going to be a topic conversation that is hashtag would, WOULD. See, I'm with you there.
Yeah, like the people that okay, I'm trying not to get myself in trouble. Okay, there's a certain kind of people that, well, okay, let's be honest. They usually are trying to stir drama online on social media. And it's like, hashtag rude, hashtag I'm over it. Okay, well then try searching it. I'm over it and see what pops up. Stop hashtagging it.
Well, if you're over it, why are you talking about it?
And not only that, they're using it like punctuation to make what they're saying more important.
Right.
It's not hashtag purpose. It's like mega exclamation quotation marks that they think they're making on their statement.
Yes.
There we go.
Got
I
it.
got a little bit lathered up about that one. Okay, now this is just an annoying thing, and I will admit it, grates on me, and it's irrational. When you have cleaned your laptop or your tablet screen or the touch screen on your computer so it's a beautiful sheen, and 5 seconds later, it looks like something with tiny butt cheeks has left prints all over your screen and smudges. It's like, I just spent 10 minutes cleaning this to perfection, and it took it 30 seconds to be ruined.
I don't generally pay attention to those things. I try to just change the angle of the screen so I don't see it.
Yeah. Okay. People who do weird shorthand on purpose when they're texting. So, for those of you without videos out there in audio land, I'm just going to describe it. So, let's say I say, "Hey, what's up?" So the H is capitalized, the E is not, the Y is capitalized, the W is not, the H is capitalized, or they put little wingdings in it, and then you had to translate what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm not talking
Annoying.
about autocorrect fails, but people who do it purposely.
See, I think at times that style is used to make fun of someone or throw shade at them. Like you're
yeah.
saying something stupid, so therefore I'm going to write it like this so it looks stupid.
Yeah. Okay, let's get real specific. There's texties and things, but why type a word incorrectly? And if you're not trying to be funny, but it's the same amount of letters. Why will people say KEWL for cool when it takes the same amount of digital movement to write COOL?
As a matter of fact, I would maintain it's easier to write COOL because of the repeating O.
There you go.
You are doing more work to write KEWL trying to look COOL than just writing the word.
And then it just inspires me to want to do something back. That's KHULE.
You should do that. And then just imagine them trying to decipher that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, typos, everything happen, but I'm talking about like just purposely make it. Okay, it's gonna get me in trouble. I'm feeling a little bit worked up. I could usually guess the age of somebody 16 and under if they've done that.
Well, I don't have 16 and under people texting me, but I mean, you see their input on different areas of social media. But so I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like a secret code, but it's not. Like I said, it's one thing if you're trying to be funny, like we do all the time.
Yeah.
Like PHUNPHARM, fun farm. We did that to be funny.
Yes.
That is a joke for us. I'm not doing it to be lazy. I'm doing it to be funny.
Right.
So I dropped my PHORK fork. But anyway, yeah, that's about got us to the end of the list. But there's more. I'm sure that there are other people out there who's listening had that thing, but oh my gosh. One of the things that comes to mind, and this is going to get me in trouble. The drive-through person in front of you, you're in McDonald's. Chances are you've been there many times. Okay?
Yes.
It should not take you 5 minutes to order for yourself at McDonald's.
So I saw a joke about this the other day, this very thing. So the 80-year-old guy is ordering at McDonald's and he's doing it too slow for the person behind him. So person behind him starts like laying on the horn and things like that. So 80-year-old guy goes up to the window to pay, and he pays for the guy behind him. So the guy behind him gets to the window and finds out the guy in front of him paid for it, and then he felt bad for laying on the horn and things. But then the 80-year-old guy goes up to the second window to get the food, shows them both receipts, take the other guy's food. Brilliant.
Oh, what a smiting that was. He hath been smote. Oh, that is brilliant. And see, I mean, I could verbally get a little bit cutting, but not off a bit. I can't go to that evil place like that. That doesn't naturally come to like devise something like that.
Well, the moral of the story was something to the effect of experience trumps speed or something like that.
Yeah, but oh, holy cow. But have you ever because you usually have your window down because you're anticipating pulling up to the drive-through microphone thing?
Yeah.
Well, man, I will take a Big Mac. Does that still come with bread on it? Okay. Are the sesame seeds oval and not trapezoidal? All right. What shade of red dye number 3 is in the ketchup? And it's like, come on. And it's like, you've been to McDonald's before. You're going to get a Big Mac and a Coke and fries.
I will not get a Big Mac.
Well, there is a good. Yes, we don't want you getting a Big Mac anymore. But for our new listeners, it made Eric ill one time
in 1988.
Yeah,
haven't had one since.
Haunts him to this day.
like
probably
a,
is.
like a like a.
That's why that made me laugh, because I think that was the sound you were making when you're running a yak.
Probably was.
Anyway, we were harassing Eric in his moment of illness.
No, it's the sound you made when you hit the wall of stench.
Oh, sorry, we're going inside baseball there. Keep in mind, this amuses us too.
Yeah.
But like I said, there is a plethora of things out there that really, really annoy people, but this some goes to the next, the next level. Do you remember when we were speaking of like people that get on that elevator or that bus too soon?
Yes.
That also applies to restaurants when you're walking up to a line and somebody like all of a sudden they turn into Usain Bolt that last 5-10 meters and blow you away to get there. And the stare down happens because you make eye contact. It's like, okay, who's going to break first? Then there they go.
It was that same stare that happened in Planes, Trades, and Automobiles between Kevin Bacon and Steve Martin when they were running for the taxi.
Yeah. You can hear the Clint Eastwood thing, though, in the background when the eye was looking. Yeah. So, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed our traipse through the annoying. That was fun.
That was fun. All right. That's it for us tonight. I want to remind you that our audio version of the podcast comes out on Friday morning, as always. Our audio platform, anchor.fm, but the audio podcast can also be found on most platforms where you find those audio podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app. Video, we are on YouTube, live and archived, of course, on our page, Play It By Ear Podcast. Also archived here on Facebook as well, and on Twitch.
Twitch.
So did you know, I don't know if you've ever gone to the Twitch, but it only holds the video for 2 weeks, and then it goes away. So not all of our videos are archived on Twitch.
It's the Snapchat of video platforms.
Indeed. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams, which, like I said, I don't understand, but you can find all those links on our website, www.playitbyyearpodcast.com. If you'd like to interact via email, admin@playitbyyearpodcast.com. If you'd like to leave a voice message to be included in the podcast, click the link at your podcast provider. And I know that link on iHeartRadio's app is a microphone-looking button that says Talk Back. And you can leave us a voice message that way. Anything else for the good of the order, Brady?
No, sir. Hope everybody had a good long Labor Day weekend, the end of summer and into pumpkin spice season.
Pumpkin. All right. With that, we will be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. So join us then.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes. Take us out.
Till next week. See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter @Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.